My name's Kelvin Adam, and I'm going to teach you how to lead a happier life. So first I'll start off by saying, who right now is truly happy? Just by raise your hands if you think you are. Okay. Well, you might be, but if you're not, not everything in your life you can be in complete control of, but there's some ways you can be happier. So according to the Harris Poll of Happiness Index, 2,345 American adults were surveyed in 2013, and only a third of them said they were truly happy. I also have a video of the Dalai Lama explaining a way that you can be happy.
If you do wrong things, mainly harming others, you get negative consequences. If you do helping others, bring more happiness to others, you get benefit. More inner strength there, and more sort of confidence of purpose of life and fulfillment about that purpose, then you always feel happy. When we are young, very much sort of alive, these inner values. And we've grown up, particularly the society where not much talking about these values. Only talks when we read the newspaper or television, sports or money, a number of dollars, like that. And all the advertising, some because of the media.
So when you do something that helps someone, like the Dalai Lama said, you not only bring happiness to the people you're helping, but you also get a sense of satisfaction, like no other, just from the gratitude of the person that you're helping. And so I have a couple quotes about helping others. Time.com put this Chinese proverb up, and it says, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit fortune. And if you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone. And so this shows how, since there's an older proverb, it shows helping others is a universal lesson that has been taught for a while and has been around a long time. And Time.com also gave other quotes from people. This is St. Francis of Assisi. He gave the quote, "For it is in giving that we receive." So we receive back gratitude from people we help. And then I have more quotes. This is Leo Tolstoy. He said that the sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. And then this is Winston Churchill. He said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And then this is Nobel Peace Prize recipient Muhammad Yunus. And he said, making money is a happiness, but making other people is a super happiness, because it's helping others is better than just making money. And then the last quote I have is Goldie Hawn. Said that giving back is as good for you as it is for those you are helping, because giving gives you a purpose. When you have a purpose-driven life, you are a happier person. So all of these people are right, in that giving and helping others makes you feel better as a person and can boost your overall happiness. And we also learn from a young age, like the Dalai Lama said, that we learn that giving is always better than receiving. And some ways that we can give back to our community and those around us are by just giving our time to work at Gleaners or Focus Hope. And then you can also give money to organizations that you believe in, or you can just help out a stranger you see on the street. And so not only should we spend time helping others, but spending time with people we love also brings us happiness. So in 2002, two pioneers of positive psychology, Ed Diner and Martin Singelman, conducted a study at the University of Illinois on the 10% of students with the highest scores recorded on a survey of personal happiness. They found that The strong ties to friends and family and commitment to spending time with them led them to more happiness. So being with people we love brings us more happiness. And then also, according to this Harvard professor and psychiatrist, Robert Waldinger, happiness has nothing to do with fame, money, or success. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. And another way we can stay happy is to take some time and relax and have time for ourselves, not always focusing on school and work. So the Huffington Post gave 12 habits that can lead us to happiness, and I picked 4 because 12 is too many to name. So some things we can do are exercise regularly, or like Greg's presentation, we can play a sport or meditate, and make sure you get sleep, because sleep is one of the most important things for our bodies. It rejuvenates and replenishes and rebuilds. To keep our minds and bodies healthy and working at an optimum capacity, it's important to get plenty of rest. Also, you can disconnect from social media, because keeping up with everything isn't always a good thing. Another thing we can do to get away from everything is plan a vacation or get ready for a vacation. It's always good to just separate yourself from everything. So Today.com also did a study that included more than 4,600 total participants, who ranged from college students to adults and the general population. And researchers found over and over again that people who chose more free time over more money were happier. And the findings don't surprise Gary Buffon, an expert on happiness and money, who is also a psychiatrist, one bit. Researchers tell us that once people have established an income that addresses their basic needs, more money has little to do with the sense of happiness. And buying possessions and things like a new car or an iPad, for example, is associated with a brief buzz of happiness, but it doesn't generate a long-lasting sense of happiness. And the third way that you can be a happier person is do something you love. It could be anything from exercising to reading to helping others, or any other activity you enjoy. And it also has to do with your job, because if you don't love your job and it makes you miserable every day, then happiness is impossible to achieve. And everyone has heard this saying, choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. And a modern day person that this relates to is Steve Jobs. He talked a lot about how his job brought him happiness, and one of his quotes is, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work, and the only way to do great work is to love what you do." And another important quote that he said was, "I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, today or the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something." So he knew that if he didn't truly love his job, then he wasn't going to be a happier person. And then Martin Luther King Jr. Also had a good quote about jobs. He said, "If it fails your lot to be a street sweeper, go out and sweep the streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, sweep the streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music, sweep the streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry, sweep the streets so well that the host of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well." So by what he was saying there is, even if your job isn't what you want it to be, and isn't the best and doesn't make the most money, make the most out of it for yourself, because if you go around just being miserable, then nothing more will come to you. And then the last person I'm going to mention is Chris Gardner. If you don't know who he is, he wrote the book The Pursuit of Happiness, which was later turned into a movie. And so his story shows how, like, if you don't like the situation you're in and aren't happy, you can strive for a better life and be happy and provide for your family. And so all these people I've mentioned in the whole presentation in history knew that if you are going to have a job, you have to love what you're doing, and even if that job isn't something that brings in the most money, you have to make the most out of it to be happy. I'm sure a lot of them may have gotten into money or through their jobs had reached money, but it was also something that they loved to do that brought success upon them. And so in conclusion, happiness is something as humans we strive for every day, and to be happy we can't focus on things like money and what others think about us. We have to do what we love and help others and believe in ourselves. Long-lasting happiness can only come if we leave all our worries behind and relax.